Oh my god, there's a quad feed. Oh my god. Oh my god, we got a quad feed. And an ace. Well, we didn't get an ace because this one guy stole it, but that was nice. Drop a fucking sub. Drop a like. And let's continue with the video. Alright, so let's go through the settings. Quick settings. I'm going to fly through these, so if you need to pause, you can do. Master volume 80. Controller. Anything, most of these are going to be default, and most of these are going to be personal preference, so anything you don't like, adjust yourself accordingly. Inputs default 20 cents because I'm an aggressive sniper. Mouse sensitivity, I'm not going to touch on that because I don't really know anything about PCs. Brightness I have on 65 to 75 depending on how dark the maps are, depending on how dark the game is. So controller, I use a controller default flipped, and I have the flipped on, so basically I use the buttons instead of the triggers. Stick layout default, controller vibration off, very unnecessary to keep on unless you want a very interactive game or feel to the game. Trigger effect, leave this off unless you want a very interactive feel with the game. Basically this makes you feel like you're actually pulling a trigger, which is a weird feature in my opinion, but this is mainly only a feature on PS5. I don't know if about Xbox or PC. Again, 20 sensitivity, that's why I always use, but this is personal preference. Again, ADS multiplier 1.3. I normally use 1.2, 1.25, but on this game you can't, so it only goes up in fucking tens. So I just use 1.30. It's very good. So basically what this does is when you're ADS, and say with the sniper, it adjusts how fast you can move inside your scope basically. So if I was sniping and there was a target to my right, I could flick really fast. If I had like 2.4, I flick really fast, but I don't really like to do that. I'm always I always center my shots really good. So sensitivity multiplier, I use the keep these at 1. Vertical aim axes, I keep these on standard. Mostly it's going to be default or just personal preference, so keep up. If you need to pause on screen. I'm going to be going a bit fast because I've done this 3 times now and I've failed. So aim down sight speed, hold, automatic tactical sprint. I have this on so it doesn't ruin my PS5 controller, because if you have it off or nothing on, you have to click in and move forward all the time to sprint, and it just hurts your thumb and it hurts the controller's analog stick. So that's what can cause stick drift. Equipment behavior, hold, personal preference, weapon mount activation, ADS and melee. I have this on ADS and melee because if you walk around the corner and you just have this on, say ADS, and you ADS on an enemy, it will mount you to the fucking wall mid-fight, which is not fucking good. So anyway, yeah. Interact and reload, I have this in tap to reload as personal preference. You can have any of these. Armor plate behavior, don't really give a fuck about that. Advanced target aim assist on aim precision. I have put on precision for sniping because it just focuses on I'm an accurate player, and it just focuses my aim assist on being an accurate player, so I always center my shots right. So it rewards me for being a precision aimer, basically. Aim, response curve type, dynamic, personal preference again. All these you can just copy down. They're not really important settings, except the dead zone. Dead zone I want to touch on a little bit. Basically, if you have a terrible controller with stick drift, you can adjust this. So if the left stick is drifting a little bit, turn it up. If it's still drifting, turn it up. If it's still drifting, turn it up. If it's still drifting, then get a new fucking controller, because that would be terrible to play with. If you have to go above 15, then get a new controller. So movement behaviors, I'm just going to fly through these. These aren't really a necessary setting, but just copy what I've got for a sniper or a red gunner. So toggle, automatic move forward off, tactical sprint behavior double tap, grounded mantle off, automatic airborne mantle off, automatic ground mantle. I have these mantles off because they're so annoying. If you're next to something like a barrel or something and you're mid-fight, it will mantle you if you jump once. So annoying. So have these off, but obviously you can have them on if you want personal preference. Slide behavior standard, plunging underwater. I haven't had a chance to play a water map yet, so I don't really know. I haven't really twinkled with the settings on this yet, and thus just leave that on default. Parachute auto deploy, this is for ground war. DoorDash, just leave that on. ADS stick swap, don't really need that. Just keep that off. ADS interrupting behavior, interrupt, just keep that on interrupt. Weapon mount movement, exit, keep on. Weapon mount, exit delay, short. Depleted ammo, weapon switch on. quick C4 detonation on, and vehicle behaviors I'm not really going to touch on, so just leave them at default. Overlay behaviors, I'm just going to leave these as default or whatever they're on now. So if you need to pause the screen, there you go. Keyboard and mouse I'm not going to touch on because obviously I'm a PS5 controller player. Don't really have the facilities to touch on or talk about keyboard and mouse settings, so I'll leave a video to the settings, a good video on keyboard and mouse settings, or you'll have to go and find them yourself. I apologize, keyboard and mouse players, I love you, but I don't know anything about them. Graphics, on-demand texture streaming, keep this on if you have a PS5 or a good PC. If you have a lower-end PC or a PS4, I would turn this off because it would dramatically decrease performance, and your PS4 would sound like a jet engine even more. World motion blur, keep these off. Very unnecessary. Film grain off if you have this on. Ridic, I hate this fucking, why is this even a setting? Who has film grain on? Depth of field, have this on if you're a red gunner. So basically what this does is it blurs the outside so you can focus more on the thing you're aiming at. So if you're aiming at with an M4 like on the screen there, on the right hand side it blurs the outside and just keeps the inside of the iron sights non-blurred so you can focus on the enemy or whatever you're aiming at. On the left hand side, with it being off, the outside of the gun is not blurred so you can see what's going on around you more, and it doesn't really necessarily focus on the target. So yeah, I would keep that off for a sniper, but for a regular I would have it on personally. Again, it's personal preference. This I haven't really touched on, so these two I just leave these on default. Field of view 120, personal preference again. Third person field of view, personal preference again. This on 90. Brightness 65 to 75 I recommend. And safe area, this is a setting that some people don't really understand. So basically, if you have this in the middle like that, your HUD will be in this white box top left hand corner, not in the top left hand corner of the actual monitor. That is what a safe area does. But I would highly recommend you have it to the edges of your monitor. Right, so audio, a very important setting. So I'm going to fly through these because these are a little bit personal preference. I have voice meter, so I can control most of these through voice meter, so how loud I have them. So I have headphones as well, and I use these two. So headphone bass boost when I'm feeling extra naughty and want to hear the footsteps from 2,000 miles away. But normally I just use headphones because I have Razor Kraken headphones, and they're very, very fucking good. So I can hear footsteps anyway from like miles away, and I can hear everything. Master volume, I have this on 80. Again, I can control this all through voice meters, so this is personal preference. If you just have a normal headset or you're playing for your TV, obviously play on 100 master volume. Music, turn this off, but that's personal preference. I just hate the music in Call of Duty. Dialogue volume, this so the announcer, like if you get a double kill, it will tell you, oh my god, this guy got a double kill. That's the announcer. And basically, if there's like an AC-130 in the air, AC-130 and above, all that shit, this is what this does. So I just turn this to half because I just can't really be dealing with it being shouted at every time there's a UAV in the air. Effects volume, so this is footsteps, like throwing knives or fucking whatever being thrown at you, you can hear everything. So I just turn this on to 100. Hit marker volume, just leave this on 100. You need to know when you hit marker. Subtitles, obviously if you need subtitles on, change when necessary. Voice chat, this is all personal preference. This is my settings. If you want to copy these, just pause the video when needed. I don't like the music. Okay, there we go. That is the audio settings done. So we're going to move on to interface. So menu text size. I have most of these on default. I don't really have. I haven't really changed these. The only thing that I have changed, well, apparently that has reset. In the main game, I will have this on. Oh yeah, I have. Okay. I have this on. I can't really say this. Tritonopia. Basically what it does is switches the I'm not colorblind, but I'm just used to this. I just prefer it. So the enemies will be yellow, and the teammates will be teammates will be green, and the teammates will be a darker blue. It just sticks out more for me, and this is personal preference. All these are personal preference, so whether you have very bad eyesight, you can have a large like that, or you can have a default. One thing I would highly recommend is changing your minimap to square. It just gives you more of a look, and turn minimap rotation off. So when you turn, your minimap turns with you. So it's so good. Horizontal compass. Basically, the compass at the top, you can turn it off or on. I will turn this off. Don't really need it. It's not really necessary. It is very good for like search and destroy and stuff like that. When because on this game and the last game, there's no minimap pings when someone shoots, which is a very terrible feature, and they're not going to change it anytime soon apparently. So the compass will help you determine which location they're in. So if they're shooting without a silencer from the west, it will put a red dot on west 265, whatever. It's very useful, but I just don't like it on. It just distracts me. Crosshairs, obviously, that is the that will help you center, so I would 100% keep this on. Hit marker visuals, personal preference, but I keep them on just so I know when I've actually got a hit marker and when to push. Damage based hit markers, again, it's personal preference, and I'll keep them on to determine when I can push. Plain names, full name, this is all personal preference. I keep the full names so I know who I'm shooting at. Vehicle hub prompts, haven't really touched on this, but I would just keep this on default. Telemetry, haven't really touched on this, but I would just keep this on default. Connection meter, this is if you want to see if you have terrible internet or not, in game or not. Tooltips, you can keep them on or off. I just keep them off. But yeah, that has been my settings. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you're new around here, I'm trying to hit 1K, so if you really enjoyed this video and these settings actually helps you, please hit that subscribe button. Obviously you don't have to, but it does help and I appreciate it. Have a nice day and peace.
Walking through my thoughts, cause I live inside my head. All this